Hey everyone, so today we're going to dive into a pretty incredible story that we found in a place you might not expect to look, a scientist's CV. Yeah, you heard that right. We're going to see how this document actually tells a thrilling story about tackling a huge global problem, all by looking at waste in a totally new light.
So let me start by asking you a question that honestly sounds a little bit like a riddle. Could the key to solving our massive food waste problem actually be found inside food waste itself? It sounds kind of crazy, right? A total paradox. But just stick with me here because this is the big idea that could completely change how we protect and store our food.
Okay, so to really get why this is such a game changer, first we have to talk about something we all deal with every single day, and that is our global packaging problem. It's a real double whammy of a problem. On one hand, you've got these mountains of plastic packaging that pile up in landfills and will be around for centuries. And on the other hand, a truly shocking amount of food goes bad, partly because the very packaging that's supposed to protect it just isn't doing a great job. The whole system is kind of broken, and it's screaming for a smarter solution.
And that is where our story really kicks off. It starts with one scientist who looked at this enormous problem and saw an opportunity for an equally enormous and frankly brilliant idea.
This is Dr. Preetham Sarkar. He's an associate professor in food process engineering in India, and he has basically spent his career working right at that sweet spot where food science and engineering meet, turning this huge global challenge into a truly groundbreaking opportunity.
The key to all of his work comes down to one powerful concept: valorization. Now, I know it sounds like a super technical term, but the idea behind it is actually really simple and profound. It just means taking stuff we think of as worthless, the scraps, the leftovers, the byproducts, and turning it into something incredibly valuable. It's like scientific alchemy, really. So, how does he actually do it? Well, his research lays out this really clear three-part mission. First, he takes those agricultural byproducts and uses them to create bioactive packaging. That means the packaging isn't just a dumb container. It actively works to keep the food inside fresh. Second, he figures out ways to deliver natural antimicrobial compounds, which are basically nature's own little bodyguards against mold and bacteria. And third, he develops these smart gels that can protect and deliver good stuff like probiotics. So you see, it's not just about replacing plastic, it's about making packaging way, way smarter.
Now, let's get to the really cool part, because when you see the actual ingredients he's using to do all this, well, that's when things get truly fascinating. This is where we go from waste to wonder.
I mean, just look at this list. This is pulled right from the titles of his research papers. We are talking about the parts of fruit that we throw away without even thinking about it. Tamarind kernels, jackfruit seeds, lychee seeds. In his lab, this stuff isn't garbage, it's the raw material for the future of food.
And the list just keeps going. Kodo millet starch, pumpkin seed meal, even extract from beetroot peels. I mean, these are such humble, everyday things that are being completely reimagined as high-tech, sustainable solutions. It just goes to show you, sometimes the answers to our biggest problems are hiding in the most unexpected places.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract theory that's stuck in a lab somewhere. The world is really starting to pay attention. This headline from a publication called The Better India sums it up perfectly. Indian scientists use jackfruit and jamun seeds to make plastic-free packaging that disappears in 60 days. Wow, that is the kind of real-world impact we are talking about.
But you know, an idea this huge, this revolutionary, it doesn't just happen overnight. As we're about to see, it takes years of intense focus, funding, and mentorship to build a real research legacy.
Dr. Sarkar has spent an entire decade at one single institution, NIT Rourkela, just patiently and methodically building on his work. This timeline shows that dedication, starting way back in 2014 and leading to his promotion to associate professor 10 years later. That is the kind of long-term commitment it takes to create real innovation.
And of course, to fuel that kind of innovation, you need resources. Over his career, Dr. Sarkar and his team have secured more than $236,000 in research funding. That number? That's a huge vote of confidence from the scientific community, telling him, we believe in what you're doing.
You know, a legacy isn't just about the research papers you publish. It's also about the people you inspire. He's already mentored 10 students all the way through graduation, and he's got 4 more on the way. He's not just doing the research himself. He's building an army of new scientists who will keep solving these critical problems.
And of course, a scientific legacy is built on sharing what you've learned. Dr. Sarkar has over 65 peer-reviewed publications to his name. But check this out, over 3,000 citations. Now, in the world of science, a citation is when another researcher, somewhere else in the world, uses your work as a foundation for their own. It is a massive measure of impact. Over 3,000 times, other scientists have said, Dr. Sarkar's work is so important, we're going to build on it. That is incredible.
So what does this all add up to? When you piece it all together, the idea, the ingredients, the dedication, what you start to see is a really clear vision for the future of our food. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. It's a tale of two packagings. On the left, you've got the old way, made from oil, clogs up our planet, and it's basically just a passive box. But on the right, that's the future. It's made from agricultural leftovers, it's biodegradable, and it actively works to keep your food fresh. It takes a single-use problem and turns it into a circular economy solution, where waste from one thing becomes the fuel for the next. It's a total paradigm shift.
And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Dr. Sarkar's work is a powerful reminder of what's possible when you just decide to redefine waste as a resource. It leaves us with a much bigger question, one that goes way beyond food packaging. What other massive global problems could we solve right now if we just started looking at the junk all around us with a new sense of wonder and possibility?